12:05 to roll around, I was sending a message on my phone when really phones and distractions and technology and media is kind of what I wanted to talk about today, and just how to be mindful people when we're surrounded by so much stimulation, by so many things competing for our attention. That can be a pretty difficult thing to do. In fact, over the weekend, my wife and I watched a documentary on Netflix that I really commend to you. It was incredibly well done, and also just a good message. But it was from people who essentially invented the internet as it exists today, from former Google executives, former Twitter CEOs, and Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, like all the main social media platforms, and they all came together with essentially one message of we're kind of getting into some dangerous territory with all of the ways that technology is competing for our attention. And it was a bit alarming, but also just gave my wife and me a chance to have conversations about what it is that we want from things like our devices, from things like social media. If we were to say how much time we actually want to spend on those things, it would be pretty minimal. Like I don't want to spend more than, say, 20 minutes checking on social media. But I know realistically, I can kill an hour easy without even thinking about it. And with everything regarding the internet, with everything that's accessible to us on our phones with the internet, it's very difficult to live mindfully with so many things trying to get our attention. But it's not just that it's trying to get our attention, but it's actually creating these mindless habits in us. One of the people on the documentary asked, do you check your phone in the morning before you go to the restroom or while you're going to the restroom? Because those are the only two options. And we laughed at that because we were like, well, that's actually kind of true. It's become this weird habit that we just immediately reach for our phones. We immediately look to some kind of social media platform for that stimulation. And it's like the reward stimulation that we're looking for, that there's something positive, there's something there to engage us. There's something there from somebody to tell us that that they like us, that we're valuable as people. And man, it can do some harm to us, neurologically speaking. And so we've decided we cut off all of our social media apps off of our phones. We'll just check it straight from our computers and straight from the internet. We've tried to really intentionally hold ourselves accountable, limiting the amount of time that we just sit scrolling. Trying to not do it at all, but recognizing that it's an old habit that's going to take a while to break. But anyway, all that to say, today I wanted to just take a moment to just sit mindfully in the present, in the room where you are, without giving way to all those distractions that are competing for our attention. Because perhaps one of the hardest things for us to do as modern Americans is to keep our mind and our body in the same room at the same time. We are constantly thinking outside of where we are, outside of what's right in front of us. And if we don't have something to distract us, we can get pretty agitated and pretty irritated, and we need something quickly to stimulate our minds. So it's something that takes a lot of practice and a lot of work to break those habits and to live more mindfully rather than mindlessly. So all that to say, I would like to enter into our meditation time today with that in mind, with the ability to just sit and be with ourselves, be with our inner and outer worlds, to name what's happening around us, to accept and to welcome into the present moment whatever is going on, without feeling the need to escape the present reality as it exists. And this is not an easy thing to do. And we're culturally wired to be distracted. In fact, I would say it's the expectation that we're distracted as people. I had a phone call right before we got on this call, and the person who called me apologized profusely for interrupting my day. And I feel the same way whenever I call someone. If I'm calling out of the blue and I haven't given them a heads up that I'm calling them, then I'm probably going to text them first or email them and let them know, hey, I'm going to call you at some point, because it feels so invasive and so intrusive to just call somebody. I feel like I'm being rude, and that's this habit, that because the expectation is people are already engaged with something and I'm going to interrupt them. And man, that's done some weird stuff to our to us neurologically, but it's also done some weird stuff to our ability to be present where we are. So, okay, enough talking. That's plenty of talking. We'll get into it now. If you will, join me in assuming a mindful posture. If you're kneeling or sitting on a cushion, sit up erect with a mindful spine, an attentive spine, not a rigid one. If you're like me and sitting in a chair, do the same. Don't be rigid or uncomfortable, but at the same time, don't slouch. It helps to lean forward just a tad so that your back's not touching the back of your chair. That way you're not tempted to continue sinking deeper and deeper into it. Just sit mindfully and have your feet flat on the floor. And I like to put my hands palms down on the tops of my legs. Some people put them palms up. Some people fold them in their lap comfortably. Whatever works for you. I keep my hands palms down on my legs. And let your shoulders fall gently away from your ears. Again, don't pull them down, don't force them, just let gravity do the work. And let your jaw begin to relax. And as your body grows still, go ahead and close your eyes, and we'll begin. For these first few moments, we're just going to notice what's happening within us. Notice what your body's doing. Notice if there's any place where you feel any tension or stress. And breathe into it and let it relax. We tend to hold stress in places like our jaw, our neck and shoulders. So let both of those places just relax. You might hold stress in your hips or hip flexors. If you need to wiggle just for a second to settle in without feeling the stress in your hips and your pelvis, work that out for just a moment. Feel your feet on the floor, or feel your legs if you're seated on a cushion or kneeling. Feel the place where you contact the earth, where you're grounded in the physical present moment. And let your attention just stay there on that place. Now let your attention come up to where you're seated. Feel your sit bones making contact either with the cushion or with the chair. Just notice how it feels. Don't try to do anything. Don't try to have some enlightened moment. Just notice how it feels to sit. And bring your attention up to your belly. Let your belly be soft. And keep your spine straight and attentive if you've started to slouch. And let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Maybe roll your head around one time just to stretch out your neck. And let it relax. Keep your jaw nice and relaxed. Let your tongue rest lightly in the bottom of your mouth. Let your eyes be closed gently without scrunching or squeezing them. Just let your eyelids be soft. Let your forehead be soft. Don't furrow your brow. And as you let your body settle into the present moment, turn your attention now to your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale deeply through the nose all the way down into the belly. And exhale through the nose, and let the exhale be just as long as the inhale. Do that about 2 more times. Inhale all the way into the belly. And exhale all the way out. Continue to breathe normally. Let your breathing return to its regular rhythm. But continue to be mindful of it. And to do that, it can be helpful to say to yourself on the inhale, I know I am breathing in. And on the exhale, I know I am breathing out. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. And let those be 2 distinct actions. The inhale is one action, and the exhale is its own action. And stay mindful with them both for a few moments. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. And now with your body fully mindful and present, with your breath fully mindful and present, let's turn our attention to our mind. Don't try to stop or resist what's happening with your mind. Just notice it and name it. You might think to yourself, I'm thinking about my work. Or I'm thinking about a conversation. Or my mind has drifted into a state of alternate reality. And again, don't try to stop what your mind is doing, just notice it. And if in noticing your mind you realize it goes quiet, you can name that as well. My mind is quiet. For just a moment, be an observer of your mind as your mind works. Detach yourself from your mental activity so that you're not drawn away from the present moment, but you're just observing what your mind is doing. You're observing what you're thinking, and especially the emotions that it might generate. And as you observe your mind, continue to breathe. And continue to be aware of the places where you're rooted physically to the ground now, with your feet, with your legs, with your sit bones on the chair. And let's spend just a few moments with our mind, our breath, and our bodies fully present as one cohesive unit, grounded and anchored by the breath. And if you start to notice your mind wander, just return your attention to the breath and say to yourself, I know I am breathing in, and I know I am breathing out. Let's do this together for just a few moments. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. Notice the images that are in your mind right now. Notice them and name them. Let them float away like a cloud. And return your attention to your breath and to your body. As we come to the end, begin to feel a sense of gratitude welling up from your heart center. Gratitude for some quiet, but most of all, gratitude for being fully present in this moment as it exists, without trying to escape it, without trying to change it, but welcoming it with acceptance and non-judgment. And in doing so, we discover that we are strong enough for whatever the present moment holds. So let us smile, curl up on the corners of your lips. Continue to breathe in gratitude and joy for this present moment. Let feelings of goodness, of warmth, of light, feelings of love and generosity and compassion fill you up from deep within yourself. And with one final deep inhale, you can open your eyes. Thank you all for practicing with us today. I hope that that was encouraging and helpful, that it was hopefully a moment in your day to remember to be present, to remember not to give in to all of those things competing for our attention, and to maybe do some work on ourselves to set those things aside, and to be better about being more mindful in the moment as we go throughout our day. So thanks everybody. And I believe the next time we'll be together will be on Monday, September 21st, I believe. Jeannie, let me know if that's not accurate.
No, Corey, it would be Monday, September 28th. It'll be
28th. There you go.
Yeah, fourth Monday of the month.
That's right.
And people can email me for the Zoom link. And then also I do post it on the event page on Facebook, on the Cows Main Library. I usually just post the Zoom link there on the morning of, just in case, so people can find it there. And
Okay.
Corey, we thank you as always for doing a great job for us.
Great. I'm glad to be here. Thanks everybody.
Okay. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye-bye.